Welcome, oil runners. Welcome back. We just had Bible study. So now here we're back with Damon Cunningham, CEO of Two Mics Up and Fusion TV. I was on his show. It was a great show. So if you ever want to be on a show, look him up. Okay. So we'll have his information on. Very simple, very easy, very great guy. And I loved it. I absolutely
Thank you.
loved it. Yes. So welcome in. Welcome in. So how's your neck of the woods been? Your
Uh,
life?
Kristen, it's so right now we're preparing for this winter weather advisory. We don't get it. I don't think as bad as maybe you do. Being up there in the Great Northern Alaska, we haven't seen snow like this in a while, or what's expected to come anyway. So we're trying to prepare for that. Everybody's scrambling around, hitting the stores, and trying to prepare for the next 48 hours of alleged snowstorm that's coming this way.
Well, what kind of snowstorm are you guys looking at? Like I haven't heard anything about it. So what is it?
So, well, you got to understand. So, being here in the DMV area, so this is DC, Maryland, Virginia area. So, if they
Okay.
say it's an inch of snow, it's catastrophic around here. Like, and I'm talking about like
Yeah,
literally
I
an
remember.
inch. It can really
Yeah.
this region is not built for snow. So they're talking about a potential accumulation of snow. 4 to 6 inches, and it could be for the next 24 to 48 hours as it comes through this area. Now, again, I'm originally from New York. I'm used to going to school in 6 to 8 feet of
Right.
snow. So I don't know, but it's different. It's different down here. So that's what we're prepared
Right.
for.
Yeah. Yeah. That's baby steps for us out here in Alaska. So I
Right, I know it
mean,
is.
yeah, and Pennsylvania, they're always like, "Oh, what was it like in Alaska?" I mean, you've dealt with it. New York is kind of closer
Yep.
to what we have. Last year,
Yep.
which just sucked because we had like four snowstorms in like a couple days. You know what I mean? So we got
Wow.
we had it just pack on, pack on, pack on for the rest of the winter. We're like, so we can't see Walmart sign. You know what I mean? Like so,
Woo.
but it was bad when you have those big trucks to take away snow. Like
Right.
I'm just being
Right.
really bad. I have a picture of that. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's when you know you're in a place that really gets snow. So here there's nothing like that. And what they do,
Right.
so they call themselves pre-treating. So they pre-treat everything with salt down here. So for the last 2 days, you see all these salt trucks everywhere. So your cars are white, and everything just turns white even before the snow gets here. So it's not even that bad because they're just not. It's this area is not built for it. It's not Pennsylvania. It's not New York. It's definitely not Alaska. So you grin and bear it though. I mean, I can say when I did move down here, and these were the type of things that they do, and I know generally come sometime tonight or tomorrow, government is going to shut down, schools are going to shut down, and it's just going to make life so much easier. And we'll just
Right.
enjoy happy time here at home with just the wife and I.
Right. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Just have your regular stuff. I mean, and just have all your water,
Yep.
but
Yeah.
food to eat. That's it. That's really all you
Yeah.
need.
And
And enjoy
comfort
it.
food.
Yeah.
Eggs, bread, milk. Things that you need to get by. Not much.
Yeah.
I think we can make 48 hours. We'll be fine.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
yeah. The 48 hours ain't nothing. Like just
Yeah.
treat it as a surgery. Like my surgery, I'm like, well, I'm in the house. I mean, I'll figure something out to do.
Yeah. Speaking of that, though, because I saw you post that the other day. So, or yeah, a couple of days ago. So how has that been? I mean, I didn't even know you were dealing with the surgery. Are these new or follow ups since the last time we spoke?
No, this one's new. This is a spine.
Oh.
Because
Mm.
I think we talked it with the neck. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm like
Yeah.
five months 5 months after the neck now. I'm still, recovering from that, which is okay.
Right.
And I'm going to go into another one in March for my shoulder. I got a rotator cuff issue. So I was like, yeah, they want 3 months. I would have had it like this month. I'm like, listen, just while I'm
Yeesh.
out. But yeah, they did a spine surgery this time on December 23rd. I'm okay. They I did have the leakage that they didn't want happen during the surgery, or
So
so
did you? You had
That's
to
where
go back? What?
if they would have found it in the hospital, because they let me go the day after, and
Mm-hmm.
I was already having the headache. They said if I had the headache in the hospital, and sitting up and all this stuff, and it goes, then I need to tell them, which I told them, but they never checked my wound.
Wow.
So I had they gave me like the little bit of treatment to it, but they
Mm-hmm.
stopped in the middle and then let me go home. I didn't ask
Oh,
to go
wow.
home. Like,
Wow.
so
Wow.
I was like, okay, that was just kind of odd for that to happen. So then when I came home, I was like, oh, well, the first day or two was fine. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
simple, but I still couldn't bend. I still can't bend too well and all that stuff. But it turned out that it leaked, and my left side has the leakage, and it's pressuring on the spine.
Wow.
So I'm supposed to be laying down on my back. So I'm up when I'm supposed to be up, and down when I'm supposed to be down for next. It's
Yeah, it
so
sounds like it's been
headaches,
a
like,
lot.
yeah. This one, it looks easy, but the behind the scenes, I
Wow.
said, man, I
It's
couldn't
rough.
even, like, doing this or rolling. You know how when you lay down on your back and like on your couch or something, you just want to just kind of roll over a little bit,
Yeah.
just not even an inch. It hurts like all heck, on my left side. So I can't move. I have to, like, physically, I'm on oxycodone right now. Like, so just to
Ooh.
stop. So I'm like, okay. Um, yeah, but he did say at the doctor's appointment that it did leak, but the wound, because they would have had to go and re-sew it back up and
Uh-uh.
do all that, and it's not good. But the wound, it closed itself up, so now I just have to go with the flow at this point.
Right. Mm. Wow. Prayers and
Yeah,
speedy recovery. And I hope you make it through that. Wow, that's a lot. Did not know. Wow.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
But I'm out here helping people still. Like, I got
All right.
things to do. I ain't got time to be
Nice.
sitting. I'm just being real.
Wow.
Like, but see, so I'm now doing more of the broadcast.
Right. I
I
see.
have now more time, and which is kind of cool. It's what I've been wanting to do, was the broadcast and getting more sponsors and whatever is coming up next in this year, and, like, you know what I mean.
Congratulations.
Like, so I'm like, all right, well, wherever God leads this, I'm gonna go for it. Like,
Yeah. Well,
this
congratulations to
is
you.
where it's at.
Glad he's giving you the time to be able to focus in on it and move towards, hopefully bigger and better things. So congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about your stuff. Like, what's been new on your end
Woo.
stuff?
Wow. So where do I start? So I guess I'll start with two mics up. Two mics up. We are now. We just actually started our 8th season. So season 8 will be coming.
Wow.
Yeah, season 8 will be coming in March of this year, 2025. We are doing all new. Excuse me. Celebrity talk show is continuing. We have some great guests lined up. Actually, did a recording today with Mr. Kendrick Cross, who's been singing in Acrimony, Saints and Sinners, uh, Country Wayne show. I mean, this gentleman is really inspiring. Inspiring to say the least. It was a great conversation. We closed out 2024. Man, with a bang. We two mics up itself. I was nominated and I walked away with the Mogul of the Year award here in 2024. Being
What?
recognized by our network. Yes. Award number
Congrats.
4. Yeah, hey, thank you. I mean, we are really I'm proud and humbled to be able to just see the success of the show itself. And I always go
Yeah.
back and tell people this is not the show was not my idea, it was my wife's idea. And I thought she was crazy. She was like, hey, yeah, I did. Now, me do a podcast, like really? No.
I
Uh
feel you. That's when God told me about mine. I'm like, you want me to do
yeah,
what now? Like, I
yeah.
don't even show face on the at church. What you think I'm gonna do?
So so
No
so
clue
that
what
part.
I'm doing. Yeah.
So that part, all of that, like everything you're saying, like I'm not showing my face. Like, for a long time, I say probably the first 2 years almost, I never really shoot. There was never my face or anything like that. And then my daughter came and she was like, "Dad, the show's starting to do well. Like people really want to see,
Who's
who the
behind?
face, yeah, who's behind it."
I
And
heard that too.
yeah, I never felt like, because I'm not a look at me type person. I
Yep.
don't, the platform, I think it speaks for itself. The tagline is to educate, empower, and impact our community. And I try to do
Mhm.
that through each and every episode, through every conversation. We live in a world that, I mean, let's just call it, the world is upside down right now. Um,
Well, it's
we
inside out,
find,
upside down.
yeah, it's
Lost
sad.
its identity.
It's sad. We're picking apart each other, uh, for the weirdest of things, the weirdest of reasons, how we look, our beliefs, and a whole bunch of different things. So to be able to bring some type of positivity, to every
Mhm.
conversation, I think, is something that's needed. I know it's not an easy thing to do. It's not the popular thing to do, but I think for me, it's the right thing. I guess what I was called to do, and we really sit in on that. So it's been a great ride so far, continuing to grow that ride. And like I mentioned, also been blessed now through the channel and through success of Two Mics Up. Started my own TV channel, streaming TV, Infusion TV, which again is part of the number one network for positive programming, which is through the Mogul TV Global Network. And for those of
Okay.
you who have a Roku or Amazon Fire TV, download the Mogul TV Global app today while it's free, because everything doesn't stay free forever. You can
Okay.
watch the Infusion TV channel network of shows. Right now, we have 6 shows. I'm in the process of finalizing 5 new shows for 2025. So hopefully, we'll be up to about 11 shows that you can sit down and watch in the comfort of your own home. We are in 47 countries now. We have 100 million viewable subscribers. It's all positive content. If you have kids, you can let your kids sit there and you can leave that channel on all day. There's no nudity, no violence, no sexual content, nothing negative.
Right.
I think is a great family to be a part of, and I'm just honored again to be able to bring that extension, as well. And we just riding this thing out, like Chris and all. I can't even lie. We just ride it out. We riding the wave over here.
Okay. We surfing
Yeah,
together. Like, yeah. And that's the
yeah,
whole point. I think podcasting and broadcasting and all that stuff is there's a lot of people who are doing it for, I mean, they have their own little things, but
yep.
the reasons they're not like, they're all about themselves.
Hmm.
But the ones that are trying to impact the communities and impact the world, uh, like I've been finding lately, it's been like the connections.
Yeah,
Whoever you're connected to, we can hook up together. I'm connected to, we could hook up together.
yep,
Like, look, we got these communities we can help out. Something,
yep.
so it's kind of been a good ride on that end, trying to
Look,
get the
without
vision,
question.
right? The vision. Like,
Yeah, look, without
you
question,
know,
just on what you said about being able to connect. Looking at the shows that we've been able to work with. I'm doing celebrity talk. We have a show, moving with meaning. I call her the first lady of Infusion TV with Crystal Clark. She's our queen of the network. One of the most powerful and impactful speakers that I've ever had the chance to meet and sit down and really watch how she unpacks like 4 pillars of work when she deals with her clients and
mhm,
she deals with people. She's an amazing person. To have her on the network is a huge win. Then, I have Mitchell Rivers, who does the Career Education Learning Center. I think it kind of speaks
mhm,
to what he's all about, but he takes his one step further. He has global students from all over the world come in and talk about
oh,
the impact of education, not only in their areas of the world, but how it looks to them globally and how the impact is. So, again, another great show. Mitchell does great work. We have
okay,
Dr. Sean Nicholson, who has the Pass Eye On podcast. Dr. Nicholson does a lot of work in the Black and Brown community, working with young men specifically on building up their leadership skills in their development skills. Uh, Again, another gentleman who is very well versed and very well spoken, but is very passionate, and that's where the Pass Ion comes from. He's very passionate about the work that he delivers. Um, we also have, the CSC podcast. These gentlemen are three men that talk about all things real estate and insurance. Now, I don't know
Okay.
about you guys, but we all need someone or somebody who can educate us about all things insurance and real estate. And these guys, they do it. And
Yep.
those are just a couple of the
Right.
shows that right now, and I'm just proud. Like, I can go on and on and on. It's just amazing to be around such great content creators, just like yourself. In the work that you're doing. Trying to connect people and connect platforms, connect stories that just give us a bigger reach and a bigger way, to let people know, hey, there's somebody out there that if they watch this episode one time, whether it be today, tomorrow, next week, we're making an impact and giving them the impetus to want to do better. And I think that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because people have been down and out.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been on a suicide kicks, and we all
Mm,
we all we all have our traumas and whatever it is that we've been in,
yeah.
and we need some kind of positive. I've had celebrities on the show too. You know what I mean? So it's like, but humanizing everybody, and we're all
Yeah.
making it feel like we're all like together.
Yeah.
And I'm loving the fact that even the celebrities are, I was like, they love God too. Like, you know what I mean? Like you did the perceptions of the people. It's like, oh, this is cool, but I got new sisters and I got new brothers, like that really do
Yeah.
care. You know what I mean? And
So true.
people, even who are celebrities or whatever, we all are now connecting in a better, more positive way. And I'm so grateful
So
for
true.
that.
But I mean, you
And I've got you as a brother now, and like all that, like
that's right.
we're just all family. And like I was watching like these other podcasters because I do have my favorites, right? So,
Right.
but I love the dynamics on some, like one of them is like Dean and Cinnamon Toast Ken. They got such a great dynamic, a friendship, and I was like, damn. But they kind of go through different people too. But I was like, that's what I want, a
That energy.
realness to a podcast. I can sit
Yeah.
down, yeah, I can sit down and watch and just enjoy, just the talk or whatever, and just
Yep.
watch a movie together and laugh about it, whatever, kind of like just being real, not
Yep.
being this whole we need $500 in order to give you the information on how to do this. I'm like, really?
Nah, nah.
Like,
Keep it real. Like you said, keeping it
like, come
real is the most
on.
important thing. That authentic
Yeah,
value or that authentic flavor is what people are looking for. And I think
yeah,
the longer you stay in who you are and humble, like you said, you mentioned having celebrities that come on your show. It's the same here. Where like perfect example. Talking with a gentleman today, Kendrick. Just to find how they too are just people just like you and I, and how they
yeah,
look to embrace the Lord and to embrace them uh, through their trials and their tribulations as well. Because even though we may see them as the stars on screen, they still have the same
yeah,
everyday struggles that you and
right,
I have. And like you said, dealing with mental health or maybe wanting to take their own life, but to find that they find humility and they found satisfaction that when they knelt before a God, whoever you may call God or whatever you may call him or her, this greater being,
right.
it just reminds you that they are just everyday people just like you and I. And I think that's
Yep,
where the beauty comes into to be able to have those conversations and share those conversations with others, to let others
right.
know the same thing as well. That's to me, that's powerful. That's the
And
most powerful thing that I think I can bring through my platform. That's just powerful.
yeah, absolutely. It's a different form, like the journalism uh form of it, and instead of watching it on like all these, what, like this, we'll just keep saying the celebrities, their life is so out there with the photos, and there's some kind of a lie somewhere along the way. They're going through it. They may not,
Every
but
day.
all the people, that story, but won't
Right.
believe when they finally come on and be like, no, this is what really happened, or
Right.
or like, but I, you know what I mean, and then that. how they truly feel
Yeah.
is to me, that's where I want, like, I'm here, like, dude, you could talk, you could talk anything. You went through cancer, you went through this, like, like, we're here. Like,
Right.
the
We're here. We're
platform,
everyday people. Right.
your
And
voice
we're
matters. Like,
yep, and we're everyday people too. We're going through the same trauma, same experiences. And I love that, that you even do that, because your spin is really different, and it's really authentic. And I know it's supposed to be about me, but I'm curious, like, how did you get to your spin, and like where you are, where you're comfortable in your space to be able to share and help others, because it takes a lot, and a lot of people don't see that.
oh, you talk about, like, where I had to open up my camera.
Yeah, yeah, that part. Yeah, that
That took
part.
a minute.
Yeah.
That took a minute. Yeah. When God was telling me about, I want you to do journalistic stuff, I mean, people told me, I knew journalism was in me, and I wanted to go to school for it and all that stuff. But I was still going through all my medical. I was like, I'll do that, like, a couple of years. It's like that vision, yeah, way
Yeah,
out yonder. It's
yeah,
there, like, not on paper yet. It just happened quicker than I thought.
yeah.
So he's like, I want you to do the broadcast. And I was like, okay. And he already gave me Oil Runners services. That's what he gave me when I 2020, and had when I was at work, actually, at the
Mhm.
extended care. And I was writing, I have the paper still, writing it all down. And he said, if people, people don't want to come on, that's fine. But, there's going to be a famine. It was right before the whole COVID happened and all that stuff. And he said the connections, um, whoever is going to be connected on the broadcast will be able to help. They'll be the ones that are truly blessed. Like, everybody's blessed, but during the famine and all that stuff, because the gifts that everybody has, um, they're different in each part of the world. So, like, you have something that I could be like, hey, I need to, so and so has this. You know what I mean? The connection, like, so we're not all starving, or in a sense, spiritually, physically, or whatever happened. We got each other's back. You know what I mean? And we can help the
Right.
communities and help the world. This is what it is. We should be able to call each other. You have a natural gift. I have a natural gift. Somebody else has a natural gift. We want that. We want to know who you are so we can connect with you. The other people can connect. So now I'm like, all right, you want me to do what now? I said, I don't even go on the camera for church. Like, when it first started with the Zoom and all that stuff at church. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared of people seeing me. Like, I was told that my voice didn't matter and all that stuff. And so, mentally I had issues, and it's like, okay, but I only did it for God,
Right.
So I started doing little
Okay.
videos back in the day, and I'm afraid to, like, preach on my own sometimes, or whatever. But I like this kind of a dynamic. But doing it on my own, God was like, you got to do it on your own sometime. Like, I know, but
Sometimes. Yeah,
not there
sometimes you
yet.
do. Sometimes you do.
So I did back then a segment on anxiety by myself. I was like, of course, and it turned out that people were like, this is like, your broadcast actually is what we need, right? So I was like, okay. So I kind of was on sometimes, and then it kind of was off, but then I was told by my friend, he said, people need to see who's behind the camera. They need to see you. That's what's going to represent,
They do.
you are representing, and I
Mhm.
was like, I know, but I can't. I'm like Moses, I can't speak well. I can't, but I have knowledge and wisdom. I can help people on the other side, but I
You
don't
have to do.
have that switch. I was like, I am not that. So it took me a while. So nowadays, with the so as I was sitting, when I had Larry Hankin on, I said, well, this is it. This is, I said, I gotta do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's about to happen. So, like, Larry actually inspired me to
That's awesome.
do more. Like, and when he was talking about how um he was like, I didn't read. Like, he's like, I'm dyslexic. I was like,
Oh,
say what
wow.
now? I grew up with Larry, you know what I mean, with Larry, on. I was like, but you're such a great actor,
Right.
and yeah, because I want to act too, but I just all that confidence. So that kind of inspired me. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to go ahead and be on the screen. And if people like me, they like me. If they don't, they don't. I don't
And
care
that's
at this
okay.
point.
Right.
Like, but we'll figure it out one at a time. And I'm still, I'm still a little scared, but not as much
No.
as I was
Well, I mean
before.
that comes
You know what I mean?
with it every day though. I don't care how long you've been. I know it's funny you mentioned that. My wife said the same thing. Like I still get nervous jitters prior to every show or prior to every conversation. That doesn't go away. I
Yeah.
think that's just being a human being. Um, no matter how
Yeah.
long you've been doing something, you still get find nervous jitters. I mean, I still find it at my job. I mean, honestly, like there's always going to be that. And that just shows your human side, the humanity of it all. But your delivery, like you say, your message is meant to be heard. So you have to share it with others. And I think you're doing a greater disservice by not, right? So you work and you get over that fear. You work through that fear.
Yeah.
And then you have
Right.
such a great conversation and such a great show such as this. And it fuels and it feeds those who need it. And I think that I do believe there's a time and a place for everything. It may not be today or tomorrow, like I said earlier. It could be a week from now. It could be a year from now. Somebody happens to come across this conversation. They hear something that they need, and it feeds their, I don't know, feeds their fire, if you will, to go out
Yeah.
and act and do
Yeah.
something. Mhm.
I feel the same way about that whole timing. And
Yep.
then, um, and with like the views, sometimes I get like, well, we won't do this with you because you don't have that many subscribers. You know what I mean? It's like, but it's not us. It's literally the stupid algorithm that has the problem. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
they want to put out this stupid stuff, but so that I'm trying to face through, right? But
I mean, I think
um,
everybody goes through that. So I know what you're talking about. The hardest thing to do, period, today is anything positive, right? And if we were to sit here and start talking, I don't know, about anything negative, we want to talk about, I don't know, do you take Trump or Biden or any news or entertainment feed that somebody is going through something and you want to talk about
right,
it and you start tearing that person up and then you were to go ahead and chop it up and post it, then your numbers
yeah,
will
that's what all
probably
the
triple, right?
right,
But is that really who you
right,
are? Is that who, and that's what I
absolutely.
say. So the
I
algorithm, like you
can't do
said,
it.
that I can't do it. But the algorithm is looking for those type of things to feed. But that again is just a reflection
Right,
of the world that we live in too. So I agree with you. I
exactly.
think keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing the positive thing. It's the hardest road to go about right now, but I think you get the best joy, knowing that what you're doing is true to who you are. It's positive. And I can sleep. I sleep well at night, knowing that I gave the best effort, in a conversation, trying to spend a positive talk versus tearing someone else down. So man, I'm cool with it.
Right.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. And like you said, like it'll be a year. That's how I came into this whole thing. You never
Hmm.
know, because I've seen videos that helped me that was like 4 years ago that they made,
Hmm.
and it's still relevant today of whatever that person did. So coming
Right.
into it with thinking that because at first, yeah, I still got to work on like the hashtags and all that extra. I was like, well, that'll be later. Like, but I just
Right.
wanted the portfolio. That's it.
Right.
Like,
Right.
get the video
Right.
out at that moment, put it up there. And I don't care if views are on there right now. It'd be nice, but
Right.
but as long as it's out there, I can go back in and fix it up or whatever and doll it up like on this. But people will see it years from now, and I could repost it or whatever has to happen. And it's you never know. You just don't know. The kids may grow up. There's an elder person that needed to hear it real quick. That there's just their personal timing in God's journey or their journey with God they needed to hear that. We're just planting the seeds in that section, just putting it out there for God to be like, here,
So
now
true.
go here, 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 you know, like this is where we could send you, and just being
So true.
obedient to that.
Mm. Say it again for the people in the back who didn't hear you. Stay obedient to it. You know, stay
Yep.
obedient.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. People think that they're God, and it's not happening, and they put that pride before, and they're like, oh, I'm working on this and working on that and working on that, and then God's not doing nothing. Like, because he wants you to fix yourself too. Like, you know, don't put him second in this. Like,
No.
honestly, it's been working first, because I did not ask for, I mean, yeah, sometimes I'll ask, some people to come on or whatever, but uh it came to me, you know, like I
How about that?
never
How
in my
about that?
right mind or my left mind, whatever, would think that I'd have celebrities on my on my show, or I'd even meet them. I mean, I met some, but you know what I mean. But
Right.
but to because back then I was so used to in the magazines, call five five
Yeah.
five or whatever. You
Yeah.
can't
You
get a
call
hold
that
of them.
number? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All that and fan mail that they never got and all that extra,
Right.
so like it's like a whole nother world. But when like when Steve just like, I'm like, wait, I got a PR now? Like what? Or
Yeah.
and wait, what is this? You know what I mean? And God's like, here, bing bang boom boom boom. Just
Great
call
guy.
him. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
like you
Steve.
huh? Like,
Yeah. Steve's a great guy. He definitely is. I mean, I appreciate him for making the connection between the both of us, and some of the other folks
yeah,
that I've been able to have on the show. He's a great guy, and wealth of knowledge, and like I said, he and we talk often, and just kind of picking each other's brain, and he's been a big help for me. Same thing that I can only imagine. I'm pretty sure he's been a big help for you as well. But he's a great guy. He's a Rolodex. A lot of people might not even know what a Rolodex is anymore, but he has a plethora of information and contacts. So shout out to Steven, man. And I appreciate him for making the connect and making this come to fruition.
yeah, this connection, yeah. Um
Mhm.
yeah, because back then when it first started, I had the people gave me the vision that this stuff would happen, or the prophecy. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I believe in the prophecy, but I'm like, okay, and then never thought, and I would have to do all this extra work and to get to where, like I really, at this point, I prepared other stuff that actually helped this, you know what I mean? I'm still learning the computer world, but other than that, it's been simple. So, okay,
Yeah,
well, if it's that simple,
I mean, if you're not afraid to point and click, and
yeah,
talk, uh, you're halfway there. Yeah, that's they said the other part, the mechanics behind it, the computer part, the uploads, the edits, and all that. Again, either A, you can learn how to do that, or there are people out here in the world that, for a small fee, they can do it for you if you're in a position to do that. Um, but I think
right,
the most important part is staying to your niche, if you will, really understanding, as you like to say, Kristen, what your calling is, and really stay in that pocket, build on that pocket, and really stay
yep,
focused on how you can drill down on that specific area, and really reach those followers or those listeners, or those viewers
yep,
who will support and really get behind the work that you're doing. And I think for me, that's been the biggest thing. I initially, when I started this, like I said, not my idea, but I think I was more focused on just local. I think it was my mind was okay just to focus locally. But then when you start
yeah,
really, I guess as you hone your craft, like anything else you become good at, you start realizing that, you start getting feedback. At one point, I'm out Seattle, California, Chicago. Like you're getting all of this feedback and things, and you realize, oh, maybe I do really have something here. And then, 2 years in, I meet with Tamika with the Mobile TV Global Network. Funny enough, she's like, hey, I've been wanting to talk to you. And I'm like, oh, I've been watching your stuff, watching what's going on, and she offers me to come on, and
Wow,
that
this
kind of
whole
helped.
week.
Right. So now, you go from a local pond to a global thing, and it was kind of
Right.
like overnight. So, things are possible. But you really have to
Yeah.
stay committed to honing your craft. And I think for the longest time, that's what I was more concerned about initially, was just making sure I was giving good content, giving good clarity. You worry about your lights and your sound and all of these things. And that being the foundation,
Yep.
everything else kind of came after. Like you say, the Lord bless you with certain things. And here we are. 4 years later. Well,
Yep.
so we're going on 5 years and 8 seasons later. Here we are.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know?
exactly. And
Yep.
there's so much more to do. So were
Oh,
you scared? Were you scared when you started going like globally,
oh, of course,
like from that just community to
because
going
it's
global?
unknown. It's unknown territory. It's something you've never done before. And then again, it pushes you to get outside of your comfort zone. I think so many of us we look and in our everyday lives, whether it be work, school, whatever it is that we're doing, we all try to find a comfort zone in everything that we do. So yes, you're being pushed, but you're not being pushed too much. And you also have
Right.
the safety of knowing that this can't be taken from me right now. As long as I'm doing just enough, it can't be taken. So when you go from looking at a local standpoint, DC, Maryland, Virginia, the Carolina, I was comfortable. But then when you're
Right.
presented with the opportunity, like man, I looked at some of the numbers, like India, Pakistan, Guatemala, uh, Costa Rica, Panama, like places that some of the places I've never been to in my life, probably would never go to, but these are places that are tuning in to watch the show, and
Right.
these are subscribers and followers that you have of the show. So yes, it's a little scary because again, how do I continue to connect to them? Right? Like, how do
Right.
you stay connected and still give them content that they will enjoy? And then, how do you continue to create content that maybe will help you? I don't know, you find yourself in Egypt or like, how do you really stay at the forefront of what you're doing? So yeah, it was scary as heck.
Right.
I can't even lie, but beyond scary when you start seeing all of this information coming in, and then you realize really how small the world really is, and really how connected the world is now through social media and streaming TV. It's a very small place now.
Yeah.
So that's very scary.
Yeah. Yeah. And how are you do you have any advice like for like without having to pay for viewers or the bots or whatever for like the YouTube? Do you have any advice on how
Whew.
to
So with YouTube,
present your YouTube stuff?
so with I've always believed in organic growth. Um, organic growth is definitely going to be the hardest thing any creative does. But I found, and this is where it falls on you to try to stay within trends or stay on topic with trends. All of these social media platforms, YouTube, IG, Facebook, they all change their algorithm. Seems like now it seems like every
2 seconds.
2 to 3 weeks. You're right. So you have to really just do your best to try. Right, it does. It really does. It used to be seem like it was like every 3 or 4 months. Now it seems like every 2 to 3 seconds there's a change in the algorithm. So best thing I can tell you, like when it comes to YouTube,
Right.
for me, what I found recently is I've stretched my content on YouTube. And when I say stretch my content, so before I would just do only live shows that was specific to certain conversations, uh, criminal reform, justice reform, mental health, whatever. But but I would only do that every other week. What I found with YouTube is the more you can put out on YouTube, the more your algorithm and whatever it is, two mics up or whoever, the more I find that people interact with it. So what do I do now? I created a sports talk segment. I do that every Tuesday with the co-host. I still do my live segment. Then I have my shows now where I break those down into multiple segments. So on any given day, I may provide, I don't know, anywhere. So prior to this, right, I would do maybe 3 to 4 reels a day. Now I do anywhere between
Okay.
10 and 30 reels a day. I find that has tripled my engagement, my views, my followers, and all that. So with YouTube, I found the more that I'm able to put out, then the higher my content. Now that doesn't necessarily work on like IG and Facebook. Sometimes it seems like on those two, the more you put out,
Right.
sometimes it hurts you. So it's just really trying to stay with the trends,
Right.
and I just try to stay up with those type of trends. But right now, that seems to be what's working for me. I put out anywhere from 10 to 30 clips a day. Now, people say, well,
Just
how do you
simple
put out?
little couple seconds, you
So the beauty
know.
with YouTube too has
Okay.
done now, what YouTube does now though, they've also created so before they wanted like reels were less than a minute. Well, now they've increased their reels to 3 minutes. So now you can put out a
Okay.
longer form of video as well. So that also helps.
Okay.
So again, this is a new trend that wasn't a trend before. Now I would tell people,
Okay.
if you have so like StreamYard is great because they have a beta form that will allow they'll create clips for you. Maybe three
Right.
to five clips, give or take. So that's what I used to use at
Right.
first. That's the thing. I would put 3 to 4 out. Most of it came from StreamYard. So now I've used various programs like Video AI or Opus Clips or whatever.
I got yeah, I got the
Though,
Opus. Yeah.
right. So Opus will, if you have enough content in a like, let's say if it's an hour and a half, they'll give you 30 short clips, easy. Then they'll give you the grade and the
Yeah.
breakdown and all of that. So that's very helpful. And again, though, how do you want to use it on which platform? I tend to use the higher graded
Right.
ones on my YouTube because I want to monetize my YouTube channel, and I might use the lesser ones for like maybe my Facebook or Instagram or whatever. But it's something that I just feel that I need to put out,
Yeah.
just on those platforms. So it's just
Okay.
kind of figuring out and balancing which ones work best for which platform, staying abreast of the trends will really help you, I think, and that's what's helped me. Maybe it'll help you, continue to grow your YouTube channel as well.
Yeah. Because I think that's where my struggle is right now is the YouTube channel. Like
Mm-hmm.
the TikTok, I'm okay-ish. I found my niche on that. Like, and I do put the clips on there, but I also do the Alaska, and I haven't truly touched YouTube like too much, but I
Right.
put memes out on TikTok, and so just so the followers will just keep the four that you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep that going. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
the same thing, I guess, on YouTube. Then
Yeah. It's the same
is
thing.
putting out more. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I've
It
been
is.
trying to
I
figure
mean,
it out. Do I need more hashtags, or do I need to change the name of
so
the
even
title, or what's going on?
so
Like,
that's really the critical thing too with YouTube is the title. So your title, obviously, if you can make it catchy, something that will catch somebody's attention. But the key to that too is though you also want to in your first line of your description, you want to have that something with that title in that description as well. It's not necessarily the hashtags. The hashtags may not find they still work, but it's about being consistent with your title. Whatever your title is, that title needs to be in your first line of your description as well. Weird thing,
okay,
but I found that, and again, I researched that, found about 20 sites, different people that kind of swear by the same, and these people are people who have higher views and higher likes and things that I have in the same podcast industry. So I've started doing that, and I mean, I'm seeing a difference. And again, though, I also see, like I said, by me stretching it, I also find that the sports content. So again, I don't do negative content. So what else do people
right,
like to talk about? Well, people love sports.
right,
So I find that sports segment too has brought in a new a new, fresh look of people who are now being introduced to Two Mics Up. So now they understand, okay, they're looking at the sports segment, but now they're also being introduced to the celebrity talk show, the business corner side. So that has also helped. So again, when I say stretch, trying to find something that I can stretch and bring in new followers, new subscribers, a whole new platform of people. This is something that has helped me also when it goes into my views and everything else that's happening. So it's just another,
Right.
I just throw that out there for people to kind of also try to think outside the box when it comes
Right.
to their platforms as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've been stretching too. I've been opening up, like, definitely, like, one is like the support system for cancer or whatever. Then I
Right.
want to start with the bariatric, whoever. It's hard for the bariatric, but talking about that. And then Alaska, I opened up an Alaska one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
that where I'm going to put more things in there. I was going to have Native the Native Alaskans, like the true elders, come on and show how to do things and to speak, to
That would
teach
be
the
awesome.
language. I already talked to, so different things, it's all there. It's just, I don't know what's coming up. And then I have an art, like a photography club or whatever.
Right.
But it's an art to club, which was inspired by actually Scott Hawkins. I don't know if you had him yet, but
No.
yeah, he's Steve's former teacher, which he's a really cool guy. Got to get him on.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Very interesting guy, and so he does sports photography as well, and he does photography, but he's a former teacher, and everybody loved him. You know what I mean? So he's like one of those teachers that did everything, and he did. But either way, so he inspired. So now it's called the artist, or the, what did I call it? The story behind the art. So if you
Oh, I love that.
paint, if you
Mm-hmm.
sculpt, or whatever, you don't have to be a professional. Yeah, I
Right.
have professionals on, but
Right.
photographers, whatever. We just pick out a couple things, or if you want to show, you'll still get your credit, and if you want to sell it, you can. It's on the show. You can sell your art. It doesn't matter to me. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to gatekeep your stuff. Come on now.
Right.
But I want to know what happened in this painting. Why did you paint that? Or what's going on in your world? Like, that's what I want to know. Like, I want to know you. Like, like, if you
Right.
took a cell phone picture, send me a couple pictures, right? Or, and then we'll talk about it throughout the show and be like, all right, so where's the sunset at? Like, this is kind of cool. Like, as long
Right.
as, you know,
Right. Right.
kind of
Right.
stuff. Oh, in the world. Like, so yeah, that kind of segment. We got that. Like, just, I don't know what else is going to come up, but
I
that's what I
love
got
it.
so far on my end.
I
Just
love
kind
it. I
of,
love it.
we got the testimonies, like,
I love that.
and nuggets, and yeah. So it's all types of things. Whatever your gift is, that's what I want to know.
I
Obviously
love
God,
that.
but being you and giving you the platform, because I know, for instance, in churches, a lot of them, you get 2 minutes of testimony,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
and I kind of I love testimony service, right? That's my
Yeah.
favorite part of the church.
Yeah.
um, because I'm like, man, people are coming in off the streets and they want to tell about God, but then they got 2 minutes. And then now they're afraid. The pastors are wondering why they're not coming through, like, or why they're not saying things, because why would we say anything? It's not
Yeah.
like authentic. It's whatever. It's unsafe to say something.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, well, that kind of inspired me to do this. You got the floor.
Yeah.
You get more than 2 minutes.
Right.
This is you.
You. Yeah. This is you.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's great.
I
think that's
if
great
I had,
foresight.
yeah, if I had to compare it to something, it would be like that. This is you. Your voice matters. I don't want anybody to ever feel like how I felt in my life. Is that whatever I had to say didn't matter. Like,
that's powerful.
And that people didn't want to hear what I had to say. So I still kind of struggle with that a little bit, but I want people to feel good and to be able to.
That's really powerful, though. I mean, to allow, people to be able to come here on your platform and really express themselves and really talk about things that really mean the most to them. It's powerful, and it's also cathartic. It's what's the word I'm looking for? I think it can be healing. Also, to be able to just kind of get those things off your chest, and you don't find that in a lot of spaces today. So you creating
Right.
that space is huge, and I want to say thank you for that. Because someone, and I'm pretty sure you've had other guests that come on that through conversation and through talk probably really relieved or released a lot of angst or stress, or maybe something that they were dealing with in their life live here on your stage. And then, like I said, if it's reaching somebody, if it's teaching somebody, you've done your job. So kudos to you for even having that foresight and that forethought to even be able to create this type of space. And it's a safe space too, and that's important.
That's the most important. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's therapeutic kind of thing.
Hmm.
My safe place. Yeah, my safe place is like here. And that's actually my picture. Like I took that.
Love it.
So
Love it.
that moose is my safe place right there. So but yeah, I need people to start healing. Uh like I was telling you before, the kids and the trauma. I know kids
Yeah.
can't be online, but I'm trying to create videos that could help them even socializing, learning how to socialize on it, so having
Yeah.
that on my YouTube. It might not go in the algorithm properly, but
Yeah.
it's there. People having 5 minutes of relaxation music on or something that I
Yeah.
created.
Yep.
Like it's just something I want you to heal. Like,
Yeah.
we see all these shootings in the schools and we see all this identity crisis, like everything, families are upside down and all kinds of, and not many people are capable of um, teaching
Yeah.
another person on how
Yeah.
to handle the situation. They're still
And,
going
and
through themselves.
and I'm trying to figure, like, how do you think, like, how do we get to the point, um, where we can teach and talk to each other about some of these traumas? Like, you talk about the mass shootings and things of that nature. Like, how do we get to a point where we can even have conversations to be able to talk and teach others how to be prepared, for, I don't want to say the tragic end result, but sometimes there's a tragic end result, like we saw in New Orleans, let's
Yeah.
say, last week with the guy with the
Um,
vehicle and the truck, just rifling through the crowd. But like, how do we get to a place where we can talk and teach one another on how we deal with those situations and to get through it?
yeah, it's just kind of hard because not everybody's equipped to do that though.
Mhm.
You got to
Yeah.
find that. You know what I mean? Like, so like everybody, so if everybody's in a group, they're all unequipped to talk
Hmm.
about it. So they're going to yell, have their own biased situation. But you
Yeah.
have to have that one person that's unbiased in all of it, and just to give out the straight facts, but
Right.
with empathy and compassion. And it's almost like being a nurse, where no matter what race or whatever you come in as a patient, we've
Yeah.
got to know you, uh care for know me, care for me, and ease my way,
Yeah.
and like kind of thing. And it's kind of like being like that, having that strength, to the knowledge and the wisdom, and utilizing what we went through. We have to
Yeah.
heal from our own self first. And so then after that, we can utilize that knowledge and put it into wisdom and teach others how to deal with that. That's how
Mm.
I feel that would help. I mean,
Yeah. That's
therapists
a
have
start.
therapy. My therapist has a therapist. you know,
I'm pretty sure that, and they
we
have
all
to.
learn.
Some of the things that they hear in a day, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Right. They got all these narcissistic people or people with BPD. I got BPD, not bipolar, but borderline person, dealing with all that. And then, having to go out and talk to people. Like, that's another thing, is having to to learn like the DBT program, which is
Mm.
great, a CBT program, a DBT program in therapy. I think everybody should go through that,
Really?
honestly, not just
Really?
people. Yeah, because it's mindfulness, you know what I mean, and things that can help you with calming yourself down and all that. It's a very, and I think I'm
That's
gonna go
interesting.
through the DBT program. Yeah, it's a lot of
Okay,
stuff in
you
therapy that
gave me
open
something
up
else to
that
look at.
more. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's a very,
Interesting. Didn't know that.
yeah. Honestly, I believe in the psychological world, the psychology, whatever that world. Um, the stuff I've learned over the years and the books that I have from my personal programs that I went through and all that stuff. I'm looking and I
Huh.
was like, everybody should be going through this. You know what I mean? It's not just because we have a problem, like, you know, a specific, like a bipolar or whatever. These are legit things everybody can do in society.
Hmm.
Like, it's just, you know, a breathing
So,
technique. Yeah.
so
Why
there's
are you
aspects
why
of it.
are you gatekeeping it?
Hmm.
Aspect different things that could help. And I'm like,
Interesting.
huh, maybe I should I have the paperwork, the books, all of that here. And I just been going through all the medical stuff. So now I'm gonna go through it. I'm really gonna I want to put
Okay.
that out on teachings and just like, look, this is some things that you could do. Everybody can breathe.
Well,
Everybody
that's
can,
interesting.
you know, take mind, and especially, you know, with PTSD or whatever, just going
Okay.
through it. Everybody could do it.
Did
You know
know.
what I
Did
mean?
not know that.
And
Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm learning something new. So okay. Yeah, I love it. I had to
yeah,
check that out. I had.
mental yeah, it's
Hmm.
dialectical behavior therapy.
Hmm.
Um, DBT just put
DBT.
DBT program,
Got it.
DBT and CBT, and yeah, it's if you really look into the psychological stuff, the like that world, um, man,
I'm,
it's
I'm putting that in my
pretty
notes right
powerful
now.
stuff.
Put that in my notes right now. While we talking about this, so I can go look it up. Okay.
Yeah,
DBT program.
I might have the stuff in my still in my computer. I could probably email it to you,
Okay.
like
Yeah, that'll
the
work.
book, the whole book or whatever. If I didn't delete it, but
Okay.
yeah, no, that I think the psychological world should open it up and not gatekeep a lot of this stuff and just keeping it for the and just
Uh,
really going at it because it's needing it.
do you think though sometimes that's done on purpose, or do you think that's done because maybe the masses, let's say, may not totally be ready for that because it sounds like it's something that goes really deep into detail. And do you think that maybe it's done purposely or because people just may not be ready for that type of true information?
That's the thing. We gotta. They're not ready. They're not ready is because it's not. It wasn't given to. You know how we go to
Okay.
school
I see what you're
from
saying. I see what you're
kindergarten.
saying.
You know
Yep.
what I mean? Like if they opened it up and like say if I start on something and then you do something right and teach on another thing, we each have a different way of teaching it, but it's
Hmm.
also like it's going from like the preschool to kindergarten, like each level, different people can start opening it up and doing
Right.
that instead of, and so everybody has different avenues to go to look into the
Right.
mental health and be like, oh, okay, yeah. So we all are on it. So like all, yeah, it's the information's out there. It's just we all have to be willing, and people like to listen to the people versus reading. So
Reading.
if us
Yeah.
that actually read, like, you know, can teach it, the right people teaching it, um, I think it will be better. And
Okay.
like,
That's fair.
yeah, not leave it to just the teachers or just the therapists. Like a therapist office, what they want is they want you to grow and leave.
Mm.
That's the whole goal.
That's the
They
goal,
don't
right? The
want
end
you to
goal.
stay. Yeah, that's the end goal. They want you to work at it. I want therapists that actually make me work. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't want that. Oh, how did you feel about it? Well, I don't know. You tell me. I'm here for that. But like,
Right.
I fired a lot of therapists. but but making it work. But they can't do all the work themselves by themselves. They need us to help them. So what we
Yeah.
learn, we can give out that information too. You know, we just
True.
can't. Some people can't because they don't have that psychology degree or whatever. You know, but we could be like, look, try to breathe this way, or try to do it this way. You know, or whatever it is. Like there's just this it's this paper. It's literally, you could just read it off the paper. This is what it says on the paper from their program. Like,
Right. From their program.
You know,
Right. From their program. Exactly.
Right, like just kind of putting it out there, that would help the therapist, and then the therapist could have the person in there and be like, oh, okay, and then they have a video they can refer to. The therapist can. That's what I've been trying to do with the videos too, is having the teachers and all of them, that they could show their kids in the classrooms and utilize as a tool as well, almost like being their secretary. Like, I got all your notes, you know, you got it. So but yeah, doing that. So just kind of putting PDFs out there, or whatever, like, just however we can get it out there, however God gives it to us to do it. But they can't do it all by themselves. But it's mental health needs to be. Mental health went way down. Like we this is the time to really get it up.
Yeah.
Back up to par again.
There needs to be a focus. There definitely needs to be a focus on it. There needs to be a refocus and a refocus and a shift back to the importance of the need of mental health services, mental health service providers, competent providers. So yeah, I agree with you. There needs to be a shift, a reshift, and a refocus on that area.
Absolutely.
People are really struggling today.
Absolutely. Yeah, we all went nuts. Like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah. It's a nice way to put it.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but it's kind of scary to be in the world when I'm the sane one, and the ones that I'm supposed to trust ain't sane. You know what I mean? And I'm like, and I'm having to train y'all, and I'm like, wait a minute, what the heck just happened here? Like, you know, we're
total flip the script type thing.
Like, why am I in the doctor sitting here trying to tell you how to do your, you know, I could train you at your job. What in the world just happened? Like,
what just happened? Right.
You know? Right. Am I what? Like, I've had those moments. I'm not perfect, but man, it's like, seriously.
Crazy out here. Right, well, seriously.
We learn from each other.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Oh man. But yeah. But definitely, I really enjoyed this conversation.
I really did too.
Look forward.
Look, it was highlighted on our calendar. We really look forward to being able to just kind of just share the love and return, you know, coming on your platform. Really appreciate you allowing me to share some time with you, and I'm highly motivated and impressed, and I want to say thank you, you know, and continued success to you and everything that you're doing, you know, with your platform. I want to continue to see you grow and prosper and shine and bring all of these projects that you have really kind of, I guess, you've been working on, but I want to see you bring them to fruition, so we can all, you know, bear in the benefits of the fruits of your labor and helping uplift others, you know, in our community.
Yeah, absolutely. And same to you. Like, thank you for the opportunity on your platform that I was able to, I'm not used to sharing my story. So yeah, like, that was kind of interesting to do. But yeah,
it was a great conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, absolutely. And definitely tell your wife I say hello. Like,
I will. You know, I will. I definitely will. Look, she's the boss. She's the one that makes everything happen I just show up, but she does everything. But I will let her know that you said hello, most definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you ever need anything, you can always come back. I'm going to ask you back anyway. So, uh,
Hey, I just said the same thing. You always welcome back. And I look now that I got the invitation, I'll be reaching out. We have some new things coming up. I'll definitely be reaching out. I'd love to come back and talk.
okay, absolutely. Well, thank you.
Definitely, definitely.
With, with that, oil runners, we have a new friend, a new brother, and please, please, please connect with him. We had all his information on there. Two mics up. Go look him up. And Fusion TV. Go listen to the TV and all his social medias. Um, the IG, Facebook, X, Threads, Dame DNYDC. Go like, subscribe, share, comment on all of our stuff. We will do the exact same to you because that's how we succeed, and get into that algorithm and all that stuff. We are not those types of people that unfollow, and do all that special mess. We're not stingy, okay? We
No, no, no,
actually
no.
do support. We are support the supporting family, okay? Whether you're on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all that. So Threads. So yeah, like, subscribe, share, and we love you.
Love you
Bye.
guys. Thank you. Bye bye.